Borda, borda, borda. Am I live? Howdy, friends. Howdy, friends, howdy, friends, howdy, friends. I'm not very well prepared for this. Time crept upon me, and there's a link if anybody wants to come in and share their voice and their mind. And as the title says, elephant. Hold it. Hold it. Hold it. Yeah. The last thing I'm a professional at is broadcasting. Pardon me. Yeah, elephants in the room. Things that not many people talk about. Bullies in a china shop. Things that a lot of people don't recognise. Elephants in the room. Currently, one of the biggest elephants in the room is bullying. Cyber bullies. People that hide behind a screen and think they can influence people into negativity. That's your cyber bully. Bullying is forcing somebody to do something against their will. Nature. Paul, how you doing, my friend? How you doing, brother? You need to come on here because I know you're a soul of wisdom. But all in good time, mate. All in good time. What I like to do is hear real life stories of how things used to be, how things are, how we move forward. I've slung the link in there. If anybody wants to come in and join me now, I would appreciate it because yeah, because I'm hopeless on my own. Like I say, if I want to talk my own talk, I might as well make a video, but I prefer interaction. The link's up there. The link's up there. And if we're talking about cyberbullying and manipulation, you're the one actually highlighted the extent of cyberbullying. So, you know, come along, your opinion is most valued. You don't take over my stream, Boo. I got the mute button. you know. But what this is all about is giving a platform. Primarily is to give a platform to raise the issue of cyberbullying and how it's not addressed. People are distracted by other conspiracies, and cyberbullying isn't really addressed. And I think it's about time that it was. So what I'm hoping to do is to instigate, as a collective, minds coming together just to see how we can is fight the right word? And particularly as it seems that YouTube do nothing about it. In fact, what they do is facilitate it because they're giving a platform to cyberbullies. Government obviously have no influence because they would influence YouTube to do something about it. But the biggest thing that people aren't talking about is cyberbullying and internet suicides caused by cyberbullying. Zoo, I'm going to plug the link in there again I don't know whether you've heard what I've just said, but it's again, I can't leave cyberbullying alone. You can't open your eyes to something and then shut them again and walk away. You know, there's two types of bullies. I've already commented this. There's two. There she is. I'm going to bring you straight in, Boo. Okay.
Good day.
Hello. Okay.
Hello.
Oh, God bless you. Thank you for your company, Boo.
Oh, always a pleasure.
It really is much appreciated. More than you probably imagine.
Same right back out you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I've sort of come to this conclusion that is up for discussion as well. Is there two types of bully? Cyberbully, troll. We'll call them a troll. There's the one that sort of goes around targeting topics like flat Earth or chemtrails or contrails, you know, and they're trying to actually debunk the topic, which is quite humorous, really, because generally, if you've got subscribers, they'll sort of leap to your defense or to the defense of a topic. But then you've got another type of troll, and that's the ones that attack the person, irrespective of their the topic, you know. And there is and I know you've been under this. I don't want you to get upset about it, really, but I just want to put it out there that I've witnessed your trolls, and they're attacking you.
Oh wait, I put my headset on. 1 second. Can you hear me?
Headset on. I can hear you.
Can you hear me now? It's okay. Tell me
now.
if it gets crackly. Sometimes it's good, sometimes not. Okay, go on.
Say something. Say a long sentence.
Lovely to see everyone in the chat. How do you say it? Like something fancy in Scottish to say hello.
Okay.
Okay.
We need. Like you're asking an Englishman.
Yeah, I know, but you know more about it than I do. But anyway, much love to my Scottish brethren in the chat. I love you.
Yeah. Just block the pricks. Well, this is a thing.
Block the pricks. There's no. You have no mods. There's no blocking. There's no mods.
No, I'm a mod. I'm the mod.
Okay, you'll have to handle it. Okay.
Paul, this is a thing about trolls. Is if you block them, they can't express themselves, and invariably, what a troll will do is pretty much hang themselves if they're coming up with negative comments. So blocking them is all well and good, but giving them a free platform to pretty much troll themselves. That's the way I look at it. So
I do agree with that. I've done that. I have done that at points where I've just let them spew, and then there's times where it's just like, oh, I've had enough of you. But yeah, I do agree with that. Yes.
Yeah, it's just looking at things in a different light and thinking, right, okay, well, you've got something to say. Let's hear it. In fact, actually, you've got something to say. Let's see it, and then I'll always invite anybody on to have a chat about something if they want to discuss it. I'm hoping that what's his name? What's that channel's name? Climate.
The Citizens Broadcasting Cooperative.
Yeah, I'm hoping that he can come on and address and just give his perspective, because he made a comment about him being an ex-bully.
Yeah.
He was going to give his perspective on how to deal with bullies from the perspective of an ex-bully.
Right.
You know, so
that would be interesting.
It would be interesting, and I'm not here to cast judgment or anything like that. I just think it'd be interesting to get the perspective of a bully, because I've never really been a bully.
I've never been a bully. They're saying I'm a bully. I found a channel that is the things it's saying in one of those comments. You wouldn't even believe what they're saying. They're running a narrative of lies. So, anybody that believes that, they're just not doing their due diligence. That's all.
There's that. And, some people have got the gift to manipulate. They've got no strong character. But what they have got is that ability to manipulate, confuse and confound with science and, other people's ideas, etc. But that's what they've got. They've got that ability to manipulate and put themselves as some sort of intelligence when, deep down it's for some people you could use a discernment to judge.
But you want to know what's interesting? Because I was thinking about something you had said, and I can't remember verbatim what you said, but I think it was to this effect that I started looking at what that person was doing as it's not necessarily intelligence. He could have a photographic memory and he can just repeat things he saw. That doesn't mean he understands any of it at all. That's what came to me later when I was thinking about it.
Yeah.
Did you say something to that effect about, he can
yeah.
talk a good game, but does he really know anything about any of that? I mean, all you really need is a photographic memory. It doesn't mean that you understand any of the material, right?
Exactly that. It's the same with the education system. If you've got a good memory to remember what they're indoctrinating you with, then you're going to pass your exams. All you've got to do is regurgitate it at the end of the school cycle. You regurgitate it, you fill in the boxes, boom, you got A pluses just because you've written down, you've recited exactly what you were taught without using any level of discernment whatsoever.
That's true.
It's not. It's being able to regurgitate somebody else's narrative
Theory.
isn't. Well, it's not a sign of intelligence, really. It's a sign of. It's a sign of a lack of intelligence. It's just a sign that you've got a good memory.
Right. That's right. That's a really important distinction, and you called my attention to it in a new way. It was like a revelation after you said it. I was like, the light bulb went on. I thought, wow, yeah, that's true. It doesn't mean this person's an authority. They just know how to repeat what they already heard. Really.
Yeah.
They didn't go out and do their own research to devise a theory. They did it based on whatever they were taught, which we don't know what's true and what isn't when we're taught stuff.
Absolutely. And here's one thing: it's and what the indoctrination system does take away is that facility for us to question. So even if we disagree with something that we're taught at school, we have a valid option, a different opinion that is justified. If you put that in your exam paper, you'll get a negative for it, even though it might be a fact. So the whole system is sort of pretty much geared to you follow this narrative to move on in this life, with the special privilege of being employed over somebody that used their No, that's gone. Yeah. Interrupted my train of thought then. Tintinnabulation, sound of ringing bells. Yeah, so this is what there's a few things I want to do. Elephants in the room is the things that probably the main thing that people aren't addressing, that needs some sort of movement, particularly on YouTube while we've still got it, and that is to raise the awareness and raise a panel or a community that particularly, I'm not talking about attacking trolls. I'm talking about just raising a profile of it all over the internet, because you mentioned something about the Club 23, Boo, was it? Boo.
It's called, I was told it's called the Game of 23, and you have 23. I have up to 60 people on me, 60. But anyway, she says they pile 23 people on you, and whoever says the last comment that gets you to kill yourself wins. That's actually being played online. Yeah.
Okay, though. Right, bear with me a minute because I want you to repeat that, because I'm gonna I'm just gonna highlight my comment here, and I want you to repeat that, please, because this is a real thing. Okay, game of 23. Can you repeat it, Bill, please?
Yeah, I was just waiting for you. So, as I was told, it says, she said that the game of 23 is being played on you. Do you know what that is? I said, no. She said, it's when 23 people, there could be more, I don't know, but 23 is what it's called. 23 people pile on you doing this gaslighting, stalking, harassment, and whoever makes the last comment when the person offs themselves wins.
Yeah.
Wins. Yeah. Doesn't that sound really like a godly thing to do?
Yeah. And if I'd have been better prepared, I would have brought up a few articles off of the mainstream media that do report on a lot of children, mostly children that are victimized, but I might be wrong there, but that are victimized for maybe their shape or their size or their hair color or just anything really. But suicide from internet abuse is an actual real thing. I've seen.
It's massive, and I've done reports. And the only thing is they bury the things that pertain to adults. It's very hard to find those things, but you find a lot about children, which of course children are obviously so important because they're vulnerable. And then you do have a certain amount of adults that are considered vulnerable. That you just, why is it necessary to push on somebody that could end up killing themselves? Well, it's necessary because that's what they like. They enjoy it. And I can, if I had my evidence on a hard drive somewhere, but I could show you all that goes on.
Well, I mean, for me, I've got a couple of hours. I'd like to be finished in a couple of hours from now. I'd like to be finished by about 11:15 at the latest, so I can go and join Carol's live stream.
Did you are you setting an alarm to remind yourself?
No, I got a big clock up there.
You remember? Okay. I always have to set alarms, and I just set an alarm and I forget. Why did I set that?
Yeah.
But no, the point, I wasn't going to like drag out all my evidence per se, but the thing is, one thing that's important possibly to cover is this whole GCHQ, JTRIG. These are agencies set up by governments to literally come after people to silence them on social media. And that is part of this.
So this is them setting up to attack adults. This ain't going to be something set up to attack children, is it? That is, would I be right or wrong? They're GCHQ.
No, they're not targeting children, as far as I know. They are targeting dissenting people, questioning official narratives. And I'm one of those people. It starts out in one way, but then because I had a channel now, I thought, okay, well, I'm going to talk about the things that are important to me. So what do I talk about? Gee whiz, the other thing, the disease and the illness and the cure. And I started talking about all the things that the establishment doesn't want talked about. And so I think additional people piled in for those reasons too. So it's like, I think this various networks of people, they're not all together, but sometimes they come together and they work together. And I've watched that happen where one person that's from a completely different pocket goes in and groups up with all these people attacking me, not unlike what Michael did, without any due diligence. But you don't have to be a rocket scientist if you look at that channel. It is completely about destroying, demeaning, denigrating a person. She will not accept an apology for whatever I did wrong to her. What I did wrong to her is really based on 3.5 years of her torture. It's like a drop in the fucking bucket. I mean, what she's done goes so way and beyond, and many of them have. And I don't know if we'll do a share screen and I show you this account where they're Malibu's a boot licking, the cop calling boot licking, POS. and then in the description that they're saying that I'm a dox or that I do this, but it's all lies. That is what they did. That's not what I did. It's a lie.
Yeah.
So there. Oh, she's going to put out all your private messages. Really? Go ask Yaxley, who I have not spoken to in maybe 6 to 9 months at this point. I have never exposed anything about our privates except to show that he blocked me and we're no longer communicating. That is a lie. I do not sell out everyone that I talk to. The people that stab me in the back, yeah, I expose them because they're dangerous people. I'm not the only one that can be harmed by these people. No?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And
that's the concern.
This is the thing. Hello, Tim. Welcome, my friend. Come on for
Hi,
a chat.
Tim.
Anybody's welcome to come on for a chat. We you know, I'm quite happy to dip out and listen. But I mean, this is one of the main things to focus on is the fact that these attacks are organised. There's a hub.
Oh yeah.
You know, a game of 23. 23's a bit of a witchy number as well, isn't it? 23.
Well, it is because. Well, I don't know because you have the 32, but then they also like to flip those numbers. 23 is a number that the
it's
people in charge like. Is that not Skull and Bones? Isn't a 23? It's a 32, right? Or is it a?
It's a 322 Skull and Bones.
322.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know.
Well, anyway, you got 3s and the 2s in there.
Yeah, I know 23 does come up as it is recognises a potential number for negativity. And
really?
Yes, it's pretty well known.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, 23, and then we're coming up to 2023 now, so
that's interesting too. Yeah,
absolutely, yeah. And
all those, because everything is connected in some strange way but to how they run stuff actually to the powers that be and all their minions, basically.
Yeah. So the organisation is well, it's applaudable, really, how they can organise, how the evil can organise, but those that stand on the side of righteousness, the organisation doesn't seem to be quite as good. You know what I mean? You know, we've got the Freemasons, probably the most well-organised organisation on earth. And then your governments, they're all sort of aligned. The one world government, one of the most organised organisations on earth. And those are trying to do good, trying to bring love and peace to the world, genuinely. Even those that have been sort of misled by religion, etc., you know, deep in their hearts, what they will want is peace and love. But there's no centralized organization that deals with that, because all those that do have beautiful hearts are divided in. I'll just pick the Christian churches. There's a lot of people that go there that are very generous, very charitable people that have been misled and misguided by mainstream religion, by your hierarchical system of religion, like the Church of England. That wouldn't have been an important call. I only ever get calls from people trying to sell me stuff. Yeah, so this is the thing that I see as lacking, is a centralization, specifically for what I'm talking about now, which is cyberbullying, troll wars, and bullies in a china shop, people that just sort of rush in, because we're not dealing, you know, we're not dealing with very clever people. If you can see through somebody, they're really not that clever. So, you know, this is what I'm hoping to do, is instigate a collective at the moment to deal with those that are falling victim to cyberbullying, with the agenda of getting somebody to commit suicide. What's the name of those films they make? Like snuff movies. You know, it's a bit like a snuff movie. An internet snuff movie is baiting. And you know, if you pick on somebody that's got, for example, autism, and they're alone, they're isolated, it won't take much to degrade and just erode a person's confidence that is sort of struggling in the world as it is, without a support network behind them, or with them, or beside them. You know, those people are just so vulnerable, and a lot of people take delight in getting somebody to kill themselves. You know, and we've seen it in comments. I've seen it in so many comments where you know, sort of, you know, like drop dead, without actually considering that you've actually put that comment out. Well, why don't you just drop dead, to somebody that is vulnerable, dealing with, you know, people that are dealing with bereavement, that get attacked. So ultimately, you know, I mean, I could quite well finish a live stream now, but that's what I want this to be, is like an opening, just to have some element of centralization, or a springboard to develop a central hub to discuss and develop a community that can deal with cyberbullying, that is specifically out for people to do self-harm. So, you know, not religiously but spiritually. Well, there's two different things, aren't they? To me, religion is organized. For example, your church. If somebody says you're religious, now I think I've learned to think of organizations like your Church of England, which is religious. When you go on to spirituality and you're having a relationship with God, the Father, whether you believe it or not, you said a brilliant comment, Boo, and it was, oh, I've got it up here. Bear with me a minute. I got this comment. Yeah, but if anybody wants to come on, they want me to sling the link in. I'm sort of, I've pretty much said what I want to say, really. I've introduced somebody that I've witnessed being under a heavy, what I would call, demonic attack. Not from one person. It's not something that's one person versus one person because they've got a gripe. This is a whole community that's come forward to attack one person. I know, Boo, it's not unique just to you, which is why it needs to be addressed as something of a crucial issue to address, because there are so many victims, so many people falling victim to this. So I'm going to highlight a few comments in a minute, but I'm just trying to find one comment that Boo made that made me smile. Oh, here it is. Here it is. Bear with me. I'm going to post this. Please bear with me. Please bear with me. I'm going to post this and then I'll highlight this, because this was brilliant. And that is attributed to Boo Boo. There could potentially be a lake of fire, and I don't want to go there. That's probably
I mean it. I mean it.
Yeah, I know you meant it. I know you meant it. That pretty much, that for me is a go-to comment. Just to put in front of the doubters, or those sitting on the fence, or those berating those that do believe that eternity is a real thing. Potentially, you know,
why would you ever mess around, even if there's only 1% chance that that's true. I don't take those odds. I've been like this for a long time. For me, like, so, because it relates to my drinking stuff. So let's say I would be working with people and say, okay, so how much of a chance do you think that you could be successful using again? I mean, 1% maybe. Is that worth the odds of dying? Pursuing that? So I think 1% is enough to get a person to act right, because in my case, because I don't want to deal with evil. I mean, like, I'm not trying. I know I'm living my life as God wants me to. Do I make mistakes and call people names? Have I done that? Yes. Have I owned a lot of it? Yeah. I've called them names I haven't said I'm sorry for yet. And I am always willing to do whatever Jesus, God wants me to do. And I remain open to that guidance.
Absolutely. And this is the Jesus, the sinless one. If there is any other Jesuses out there, or Yeshua.
Yeshua.
That's who. When I say Jesus Christ, I mean the man, the sinless man. Okay. And if there are any other ones out there that floating around, it's all about intent. And my intent is to follow in the footsteps of a man. If people believe he's real, people know he's real, because I've explained earlier on, Boo, how my life has changed immensely, indescribably, for those that don't know. So everything's about intent. What do you intend to be like? What do you intend to do? And what do you hope to achieve? What do you intend to achieve? And if you intend to achieve bringing this world to unconditional love with everybody, then that is your intent. And that is my intent when I say follow the footsteps of the sinless one and aim to please God. Because like you say, there could potentially be a lake of fire, and there could potentially be that eternity where there are no wars, where there is no hatred, where there is no sickness, where there is no big pharma, where there is no indoctrination by the state system trying to get people away from learning at their own pace how to live. Just bear it in mind. But yeah, it's spot on. It's all about intent. If people intend going out with nice words, but ultimately with the intent of deceiving somebody, then who are they deceiving ultimately? They're deceiving themselves. And like we say, oh, you come up with this a lot, Sue, this one. I love this. This gets me thinking this. But yeah, the true nature of God is a circle of which the center is everywhere and the circumference nowhere. I. Oh, Boo, we need to up to teach you about ochai. It's not och high, it's och from my English.
Ochai. I got it. Ochai.
And it's the same as if you see in Welsh, if you see double L together, as in Llandudno, okay? Double Landudno. It's not Llandudno, it's Llandudno. Double L is pronounced with my English Welsh.
The double L is like a okay, I got it.
Well, I mean, that sounded like a cat coughing up a fur ball. But it's sort of getting there. It's not a force thing. It's sort of like a Llandudno.
What do they say? That's something in Bagora. I know that's more Irish, but they do like a huching thing in the front of that one, right?
Who's that?
Something. The Irish have like a something in Bagora. Some high in Bagora. Something. You don't know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. No.
Because I think they start with a kind of a sound too.
Yeah. Yeah. Scottish, I know. Well, well, actually, I had a Scottish girlfriend a few years ago, and I learned a lot.
Oh,
I learned a lot. And it was, it was about a 3-month relationship, and I'm not in things for the short term. But I learned just so much about Scottish culture. The ducket.
that's so great.
The ducket was a thing that what's a night? It was like a nightclub. It's got like a private nightclub.
In Scotland?
Well, it's sort of like a nightclub in people's homes.
Like a speakeasy?
Well, I don't know what speakeasy is. Zoo might be able to enlighten me on that. It might. Oh, it's not a shebeen. Is it a shebeen? Am I right, Zoo? Is it called a shebeen? Have you heard of a shebeen, Boo?
I haven't. No.
Right, I think it's shebeen then. Zoo needs to come on. Yeah. And I used to frequent a lot of I used to sort of almost live in a Jamaican community and like interact. So I used to I used to spend a lot of time in what they call the blues clubs. Now it's not like your rhythm and blues clubs. This was a blues club in like that Jamaican culture would be somebody opening up their home as a public space. And the word pub, as in like your pub where you go drinking, is derived from public house, going back to the days when the public used to open up their house for communities to come together. So that's where the word pub. It's all about bringing communities together in one place. But the shebeen, I think, I don't ken that one, Richard. I don't ken that. What's that mean? A twang. Friendly growl. Yeah. A friendly growl or a friendly growler. That might be a British joke, that. I don't ken that one. Shebeen. Yeah, shebeen. I'll look it up in a minute. Find out what shebeen is exactly. But the blues clubs in the Jamaican communities, these are areas where people just used to open up their houses. They'd well, it's simple. It's a simple. You go in there. There's people playing dominoes, and I mean, dominoes was the main game that I came across to be played, and it was it was wild watching Jamaicans play dominoes. But this is the thing about it. It's the community coming together in people's homes like they used to in the good old days. People going around your neighbours. All right, Christmas, and you get invited round for dinner to your neighbour's house. That probably isn't a thing these days. When communities were actually communities, when neighbourhoods were interactive and supportive and protective.
Mm-hmm.
So
Zoo is saying it's kind of like a friendly growl in it. He didn't know that when you were speaking of whatever you're speaking of. So whatever you're saying, he says it's the ugh and the grr. Wow. LOL.
Yeah, I think it's now if it was a double L of Welsh, as in Llandudno or Llanrwst. I mean, probably my favourite language on earth is Welsh, North Welsh.
Do you know that there's some thing that they think that the Welsh may be the original Israelites, that they migrated over there because their language is a lot like Hebrew?
Yeah, I've heard that.
Mm-hmm.
I've heard that. Yeah.
Very strange. I mean, there's so many things out there that are just wow.
Yeah.
Interesting. But Tim said, I feel you should be able to say anything you want, but don't incriminate yourself. Mind your tongue and refrain from profanity. I don't agree that you should be able to say anything you want to vulnerable people, like go drink Drano, like I've been told. Why don't you just go fucking kill yourself already? We're tired of waiting. I'll do a memorial for you, dear. I've had so many people tell me to go and kill myself. It's just, you don't do that to somebody that's struggling. It's vile and it's evil. There's certain things that it's just not godly. So why, if it's not godly, it's evil, and that's what it is.
Yeah. However, he did say, I feel you should be able to say anything you want, but don't incriminate yourself. So this is where trolls troll themselves. You know, as long as we can brush it off and think, you know, you're doing yourself more harm than me because I see you for what you are. You're trying to bring me down to your level because you cannot come up to my level, either because you haven't got the capacity for it or you don't want to. You know, you should be able to say anything you want, but like again, there's, if you look at the 4 basic common laws: don't kill, don't steal, don't cause offence, and don't cause harm. They're your foundational common laws. Don't cause offence. You know, so what it is doing is assimilating with a person we're having a chat with, for example, and being receptive to their sensitivities. So
Well,
we
do
can
you
say,
want to
okay,
show it? Well, don't you want to show some of his comments? Like, oh, that's your best video, you cunt, to from a person I was nothing but nice
no,
to.
I
I
don't,
mean,
I
God.
don't. No, that exists out there, and I'll bear that in mind for some sort of, probably for a video, really,
Okay.
unless there is some kind of remorse shown.
Right. I always give people time to self-correct because people make mistakes. If that person thinks about it and says, yeah, you know, I don't want to behave that way, comes back and says, I was wrong and can we just start over? I do give people chances. I do.
Yeah, and this is about people realizing that, okay, so I was wrong. Me. This is just me. I have been
Right.
wrong in the past. I have done things that I regret. I
Yes.
have done things that send shivers up my spine and send me in a cold sweat. And I think, did I really say that? I wish I hadn't said that. Please, you know, I can't. It can't be taken away. That's what I've done. But when I realized that it was a burden, that I felt guilty, that I felt ashamed, that I felt embarrassed at some of the things I've done in the past, then I just go to God and say, please forgive me. This is what it's all about. Please forgive me. I didn't
Yeah.
know what I was doing. I want to step forward from this moment now and aim to be a better person. You know, that's
Right.
what being reborn is all about. It's just taking Jesus Christ, the sinless one, as our role model to move forward,
Yeah.
because we didn't
Yeah.
have Jesus Christ. We didn't have Jesus Christ as our teacher in school.
Right.
Jesus Christ was not our teacher in school. Jesus Christ is not the teacher in religion, in your
He was in
mainstream
my mom
religion.
when my mom went to school. Jesus was her teacher. She went to
Absolutely,
Sunday
absolutely,
school and was completely indoctrinated
absolutely. And
as a
even though
Christian.
some people don't believe in the character, was that the character was real, the character still exists in the psyche, and the lessons he had to share in how to live in peace and harmony on an earth with love and no hatred. You know, you either take the character as a role model, a fictitious role model, or you take him as I do, which is a real, the real Son of God, born as a man. All we are is consciousness in a body. Now, God can put his consciousness, God puts my consciousness in my body. He put your consciousness in your body. He put the consciousness of his son, Jesus Christ, in the body of Jesus Christ, the man. This is how Jesus Christ, God, can come to earth as a consciousness and know what he knew and communicate as he communicated and share what he shared. And this is why he was persecuted, because God came to the earth, which is Satan's realm, and they destroyed God on the earth. Only it backfired, because there's nobody more famous on earth, whether you believe he is real or whether you believe he is fictitious. There's no person on earth more famous than Jesus Christ, that still exists to this very day. To live in the thoughts and hearts of those we leave behind is not to die. If we keep the memory alive, that energy is still active. That's as it is. That's as I see it. Somebody might say, Richard, you're talking bullshit. And I'll say, well, okay. You know? But what this is about is primarily bullying, cyberbullying, trolls that hopefully will reflect on what they've done. They'll get a tickle on their heartstrings to think, you know what? It makes sense, that hatred, all that hatred I've got is making me really ill. It's making me angry. It's making me go out and spend my life attacking other people when I could be spending my life improving my own life rather than trying to bring other people down. So, you know, this is how I see it, really. And what I hope to do is that the whole world can just, because most people have got a common enemy, and the common enemy isn't your neighbour. Your common enemy is the government. Your common enemy is those ones that think they can manipulate our creation, our biological creation, and our consciousness creation, and they think that they can manipulate that into being something that is ungodly and unnatural, as created by God. So, you know, that's what I really want to do, is address cyberbullying, but appeal to those that are doing it to just step back out of it. Have you been manipulated? If you're the instigator, if somebody's done you harm, somebody's done me harm, okay? I'll put myself in the shoes of or in the moccasins of a. If you can walk a mile in my moccasins, yeah, then you can comment on me. I love that. Yeah, if I wanted to troll somebody to an extent where I was causing them physical or mental harm, I would probably be better off if I recruited a little gang. Now, William Golding wrote Lord of the Flies, and it's a story about, and it is pretty much based on the psychology of a human being. It's pretty much based on a class full of children marooned on an island, okay, a desert island. And there's one person that was the master manipulator. And he would be classed as a single bully in a classroom that can manipulate the whole classroom around to his way of thinking. And what they actually did in Lord of the Flies is they picked on probably the easiest target, which was Piggy. Okay, I think that was his name. An overweight boy. But to empower A, the bully, and B, his desired accomplices, he targeted Piggy, and the chant was "Kill the beast, kill the beast, kill the beast," and Piggy was classified as the beast. Kill the beast, kill the beast, and they ended up murdering Piggy. And this is people. These are children. These are impressionable children manipulated by a master manipulator, a bully that knew how to sweet talk people, how to rile up people to hatred, like Hitler did. Apparently, is to rile up a collective of people that don't, you know, did the Germans people really want to go to war with the rest of the world? I very much doubt it. I've never come across a person in the street that I've asked, do you want to go to war? No, it's only politicians that want to go to war, that put their tick in the box and push that red button to go to war. People do not want war. Your common person in the street knows that war, you know, is not something that they want, because for one thing, it causes a response that puts them in the war. While your politicians, the instigators of war, go and hide underground, or send innocent people that think they're going there to keep peace, send them to war to sacrifice themselves. These are master manipulators. These are your bullies in a china shop. So it's it's, you know, maybe we haven't got too much time to turn this around. Maybe we can't turn it around because it's been ordained and prophesied that the end of the world is going to come. But is that going to stop me trying? No, it's not, because tomorrow the abuse will go on. The day after, the abuse may well go on. It may go on for decades and decades and decades and decades and decades and decades and decades until God says, that's it.
Can I just tell you one other really, really heinous thing that's going on?
Yeah, please.
One of those accounts that is saying, you know, cry, you know, go cry, bish, or something. Remember I read you those 2 comments?
Yeah.
Well, I went to those channels. One of them, it has a picture of where I used to live. They came up on the property and they took a photograph of where I used to live. This is what they're doing to me, okay? This and it is a federal fucking crime, man. You don't.
Yeah.
They rolled up on the only way they got that picture, unless they had a telephoto lens, is they had to come on the property and shoot that picture because of the angle it's in. In fact, there's no way. They had to come on property, the angle that they took. So they were literally parked right in front of where I live. This is what they're doing to me. Okay?
Yeah.
They won't stop. And I'm the one to blame for what? I'm not doxing them. I'm not doing those things. I'm not trying to find where these people live. I've just tried to get them to leave me alone. That's all.
Yeah. Well, who is
So
responsible
to do that
for it?
to do that to a woman in my state, it is designed to create so much fear in a person that already has a very difficult life and quality of life, to push a person over the edge. Do you know what that does to a woman like me? I'm a victim. I'm a rape survivor and other things. I have a stalker. I was, I've been basically in hiding even before this happened because I had a guy that was stalking me. And they are putting this information out and putting my life in danger.
Yeah.
And it's, I knew they did. I knew they went on to that property. My friend is actually renting. My other friend took the place over. So I do go over there to see my friend now and then, but I don't live in that exact area. But still, the fact remains, this is all designed to create fear and panic and reaction. But I will be calling the authorities, and I will be forwarding that, because I'm still going to, even the authorities are crap and they've done nothing but allow me to be in danger. This is very serious. They are rolling up onto a property that is trespassing in order to take a photograph and put it online. And I know they doxed the address, but I just haven't seen it. So that's what they're doing, because the whole goal is they call the police. They say I'm threatening all these things that I'm not. I've shown the police log. And eventually they're hoping that the police will come out and shoot me. And you know what they do? They mock up false shots saying she's flailing a gun around, threatening to kill people. Then they send that to the police. The police come and kick the door in and people end up dead. I never threatened to kill anybody. I never flailed a gun around ever in my life. I don't fuck around. Guns are dangerous things. They're not toys to be flailing around with.
Yeah.
So that's what they do. They set people up, and that's what's going on. And that is what this is. It's nothing but that. They are a gang of suicide trolls. That's what they are. And they don't care if people end up dead. And I put in your comments that there's several cases of people that have ended up dead, have taken overdoses of drugs as well, but then survived. So it's a thing, and I really appreciate that you're shedding light on it, because it is the elephant in the room, and nobody really wants to step up and say this is above and beyond free speech. These are people behaving with intent to harm to the maximum level. That's what it's designed for. So,
well, I'll say now, well, thank you for your testimony there. Well, thank you for saying that. For me, I just want people to hear the effects, the cyber trolling, cyber bullying, how it's organized. I just want people to hear it, really. So that,
yeah, well, that's the thing. If you were to show the Glenn Greenwald Intercept article, the JTRIG GCHQ, the main thing about it, you don't have to do it now, but I might show it again, is that if you go into the playbook, this is what they do. It is right from the playbook. It's first they start with discrediting, then there's 4 Ds, and I always forget one, but it's discredit, deny is when they isolate you, so you have no one and you're all by yourself, and then the ultimate destroy. So they get you isolated and then they destroy you. That's what they do, and it's a government playbook. And these people are using the same tactics. So the natural conclusion would be to say that's I can't say they're part of GCHQ JTRIG, but whoever they're dealing with is using that playbook. That I can say for sure. I can't say they work for that would be, I can't prove that, but they are using the same, and they use the occult law of reversal, and there's a lot of things going on here, but I don't really want to, I know you didn't want to spend too much more time, but I do think it's important.
No, boo. I've got an hour, yeah.
Okay.
But
just think about that, okay? You take a woman that's has been raped, basically raped by a man at 12 years old, coming to at a party, being raped, sodomized.
Yeah.
To be told I'm lying about these things that I went through when I only shared them to help other people. I wasn't trying to get sympathy. But I am a victim. I'm a survivor, but I was victimized, and then you can't claim survivor while you're still being victimized. It goes on. You're still being victimized.
Well, you're still being victimized. But it's only when you submit to that being victimized, this is my opinion, it's only when you submit to the fact that you are a victim, and you cannot rise above that being victim to say, yeah, I am a survivor. I am going to survive this. I
think I am going to survive is good. But I think it's really important for people to understand that when you are dealing with somebody that's been victimized or is being victimized, to get them to, you're a survivor, when they're in a traumatic state from what's gone on, it's a hard bridge to cross, but we can get there, and we continue to work on that. Yes, I am a survivor. I've survived a lot. I will continue to survive. At the same time, the victimization continues, and it's bizarre, and it's ridiculous. And why does it continue to go on? I've done all I could to end it. I'm sorry when I told what I did. I was wrong for what I did. If I could tell you what I did, I would have changed it. What can I do to make this right? What can I do to make it right with you? There is no mode to make this right. She wants me gone. However it goes, if that means I'm dead, she's not going to be sad. Trust me on this.
Yeah.
So it's really, to me, it's just a reflection of the spiritual battle, and that people are dropping into negativity and allowing this evil to come through. And I believe eventually they won't even have their own souls in their bodies anymore, because you do the bidding of evil long enough, and they just take over. So people can live their lives that way. They can lie about me and say that I'm living my life that way. And I know I'm not. I'm going to be doing a Bible study tonight. I'm working on, even the profanity, even though I like cussing because I think it's funny sometimes. But presentation, I'm really happy that I got out some of that information about the Shumash, and continuing to shed light on the plight of the First Nations people, which is something really important to me. Yeah. And, I just continually to try and turn away from it. At the same time, there has to be some exposure, because otherwise these people going on and on, people have died. Real people have died, sensitive, vulnerable people. And it's not, a decent human being does not stand there and watch that and applaud. A decent human being like you says something about it. Like, look what's going on here.
Yeah.
This is especially the time we're in. That's what blows my mind more than anything else. Up to 2 years ago, it was just rolling on, and it was what it was. But then we went into the pandemic, and everything we're facing right now with the Great Reset and all of that, right? They have never let up, and they've increased it. So a lot of these people have children. A lot of these people are in their late 60s, hitting 70. I mean, there's something very wrong going on here.
Yeah.
It's just straight evil.
Yeah.
But I don't think ignoring it all the time is not the thing, because they get away with it. Oh, I'll just ignore that man that's raping my next door neighbor. Oh, I'll just ignore that man it's lifting my mom's purse. Oh, I'll ignore that person I don't do that. I tend to help people that are in trouble.
Yeah.
So I don't get it. But I don't want to, I just don't want to make it too much. I don't know. I don't want to make it too much more about me. But I am right now,
listen, boo.
I'm probably going to call the police now to say, on top of everything else they're doing, I now have evidence that they trespassed where I used to live. Now, this is a felony stalking, okay?
Yeah.
It's against the law. You can't do this shit.
Yeah.
But they do it anyway. Why? They're above the law. So do they work with the law? Because that's what the GCHQ thing is saying. These people are getting paid by whomever or whatever agencies to silence dissenting Americans or anybody else that wants to talk about anything of importance. Really, doesn't it come down to that? Because if I'm not talking about them or anything they did, or the murders that they've caught, that they've created, the deaths they've created, the cons that they are, if I'm not speaking about them anymore, and I'm just doing my trip, what's the point? They need me ended because I'm talking about things they don't want me to talk. Because if I'm not talking about them, so then what's the problem? I'm talking about stuff they don't want talked about, obviously, right? Wouldn't that be the natural conclusion?
Yeah.
So that's what people need to be aware of. It's not just, somebody came in early on, oh, this is just a cat fight between two women. I go, no, it is not. Absolutely, you are wrong. This is a woman that was lying and deceiving. And when I went to look into her and she found out, she started lying about me being a grifter with 6 GoFundMes, that I took $250 from her and they never gave me a penny. Never happened. Nothing she said ever happened, and I can swear on the eternal condemnation of my soul if I'm lying. Now, many people they can't handle that way that I pray, but I'll tell you where it comes from, and then I may just be in the chat. When Henry VIII was going to get rid of his wife, was her name Catherine, or was that the first wife? No, Boleyn.
Yeah.
So when he was, what that was political propaganda, because the people around the king wanted rid of her. She was actually way too smart and way too involved, actually possibly involved in helping him with making decisions about things, perhaps. So they wanted her gone. And so what they did is they started a campaign. Oh, she was having sex with all these men, including her brother, that she was sharing state secrets. She actually deeply loved Henry VIII, this woman, allegedly. So in any case, the night she was found guilty, and the night before she was going to her death, they were going to cut her head off, she prayed and did the rosary all night. And she said her last words, basically, before she went to have her head cut off, was, on the eternal condemnation of my soul, if I'm lying, I did not do those things. I mean, you can't. That's it. She's saying in front of God, I'm telling you, and that my soul could be forever lost to the pit of hell because I did not do those things. Well, interestingly enough, but I don't know if this is true, first of all, they say that he made sure that the swordsman had the sharpest sword possible so that her head would be whacked off so swiftly that she wouldn't even feel it. Okay, that's one thing that I read. The other thing that I read is it's possible he didn't actually do that, and he let her go, and she was being kept out of the public eye. So those are potentials, I'm just saying. But that prayer means a lot to me because I'm a very honest person, and I do have a healthy fear of hell, and I certainly don't want to go there because that's not where my loved ones are, and I want to be with my loved ones. So I'm not going to do anything that would put me there. I would never do a prayer that could land me there, as I take these things seriously. I would not lie about things like that. So anyway, I think I'm going to go now. I'm very concerned about what they did, that they are stalking me to the extent that they're going to be, driving right in front of places that I live. And what is your intention? What do you hope to achieve by doing that? You're coming on my property to make a physical threat that you've been on the property and that I should be aware that you're coming to let me know. Is that a warning? See, you have to understand, be in my fucking moccasins dealing with this shit and what it does to a person. Okay? That I have to live in fucking fear every fucking minute. I have to walk. I was told by one of the people that thinks they know who's behind this stuff. He says, you need to be carrying a gun at all times. That's what I was told. Do you think I want to live like this? I'm just showing you the real face of a person that's been terrorized. The people say, don't show your emotions. Oh, they get off on your emotions. I don't give a shit. I'm a real human being or person that's been terrorized to the point that death, suicide seemed like the best option, and that's what they want. And that's what happens to a vulnerable person when they already have a very low quality of life. You pile this shit on, they have no reason to go on. It's too difficult. It's what they want. Okay? So with that, I'm going to go. Okay?
Boo, thank you ever so much for that, sharing that.
Okay.
But, to have a real life testimony is so important for people to understand the depth of just the depth of evil that exists, unbeknown to many, many people.
It's straight up evil. I mean, if you just went to see that channel with 260 videos, and that's not the only channel. There's many channels making videos about me that are based on lies. And as I said, one woman who they put up on a pedestal and they all carried it down the street cheering her on, in the comments of a video where she said that I was the kind of 5-year-old with a finger up my nose and one up my ass, rubbing all over adult men, begging them to molest me. You can't rape the willing. You can't rape the willing. And not one person said, you are completely out of line speaking about child rape in that fashion. You may not like that woman, but speaking about children being raped in those terms and saying that there are children that are willing participants is vile, and just it's the most disgusting thing a person can say, in my view. So, but those types of people, and that woman, you see the whole channel is 260. She's got the whole gang. The gang bang bang is there. Just go under every comment. If you wrote down all the names, you'll see there's a list of about 60 people harassing me that I'm not doing anything to, and half of them I don't even know. So it's just a campaign to get someone to off themselves. And there are troll armies that this is what they do, and they refer to a person like me as a lulz cow, Lulz. That's their lulz cow, and they take pleasure in your agony and your torture, and you're their lulz cow, and whatever they got to do to get a laugh, if that means you blow your brains out, then so be it. That's how freaking evil they are, and that's not exaggerating. Okay? So thank you for listening. I'm going to shut up now and maybe have a little convo in the chat. And do you need anything else from me? Just let me know. This is one of the people that threatened me. I need a nap to kill you, is what it said. Now, Richard, your girlfriend is the bully online. Don't get it twisted. I need a nap to kill you. That's what that account. So they came in, I need a nap to kill you. They come and they drop comments. That's a death threat right there, okay?
Yeah.
I need an app to kill you. Why are you blocking people, Richard? Are you blocking from Malibu? I need a nap to kill you.
Is that in my comments? Is that somebody in
Yeah.
my comments?
Yes, that's in your
What,
comments.
now?
Right?
Somebody's made that comment.
Yes, they're in there right now. Say the one that they make that account. They come into my account 4 months ago, and I can show it to you.
Oh, I see it.
Saying, "I need a nap to kill you." That is a veiled death threat. That account was made to harass me. Okay, that's why they're here with a death threat. But I'm the bully. You see how they do it? But I'm the bully. Okay. Prove
Okay,
it. Prove it.
I highlighted that because I'm going to delete them now. But
I mean, that's what they do. I can tell you another account right around the time they had that death threat account. I've got it in my computer. They come in the same day, 2 accounts. That one, I need a nap to kill you. And then another one threatening me. Doing this to a vulnerable person.
Drew, can you give me a minute? Can you give me a minute?
Yeah,
If anybody in the chat, if you would like to click the little dots to the right of the commenter, that's in need nap to ask her. Can you report it before I block it? Because when I block it, I think it will disappear. But I want that channel to be reported for harassment, please. I'm not blocking it. I'm going to block once the opportunity for people to just help us out in highlighting this to YouTube, because if we can get, there's 8 people here at the moment watching. If 8 people can, I don't know whether that includes me. If 8 people can report one commenter for harassment and bullying, then I would much appreciate that, and it would pretty much further the cause of addressing it and raising it at least to the YouTube authorities. And then I will, in fact, what I can do is put them on a timeout at the moment, just so they haven't. Let me see if I can find it.
I have that account and another account. It looks like they may have edited the name of it, but that is the account. Now, the thing is, because I don't have a wrench, no one else does. If you can go to the channel and bookmark it, that way, if they change the channel name and come back in, you know it's the same person. You have it bookmarked, or the best way is to, I think, you bookmark them.
Right. So I'm going to share.
Or you can subscribe to them, but you need to make a ledger and say this is what this account was, because you may go in and that account's gone. Well, it's hard to know when they change the accounts unless you have to look at what they're about.
Can you give me a second?
Oh yeah, take your time.
Right, I'm gonna do a complete screen share. I'm gonna pick a comment down here because I can, because I just want to clear the screen, and I'm gonna show you why I have removed mod shit from everybody. It's not because I don't like you. It's not because I don't trust anybody. It's because I have a way of doing things, and I don't want somebody to be blocked before I expose them for what they really are. So I'm going to demonstrate why I have removed mod shit, because I don't want somebody blocking a person before I've done what I'm going to show you now. Okay. This is why I remove mod shit from everybody. Okay. So if I mess around with this a minute and get this big enough so you can see. Okay. This is just the way it's collecting evidence, and it's hopefully this is showing up. Can you see the screen there?
Listen to this person. Can I say something?
Go on.
You want me to wait till you're done? It's not going anywhere. I'll address the total occult law reversal and how this person is completely shown. I have to read it to tell you how I perceive it.
Right. Can I interject a minute? Because can I highlight that? But just bear with me a minute. I'm playing with this because right. Please just bear with me. Bear with me. have a bit of patience for what. Right, I'm going to show you here. Okay. Now, can you see these messages? You might. I mean, are you on a computer or a phone, Boo?
I'm on both.
Okay, so you can you see the screen I'm sharing now? And I've highlighted in blue, message retracted. So I don't know. I don't think I've got the ability to reinstate that. No, I haven't. But what I can do is go to their channel. Message retracted. Okay. So once they've retracted a message, they are then beyond proof that they've made that comment. Okay. Whatever you've got to say, Inida, is irrelevant, because what Boo is doing currently is under attack. Why is that? When I am trying to address cyberbullying. Okay, so this is what I'm going to do. I can go to, now I get all these options because I'm the boss. But if you go to this and report, okay, now for the time being, I'm going to put them in timeout. Hopefully that showed up. Then I can go to their channel. So I right click that just in case it opens a different screen. I'm going to go to their channel. This is why you don't fuck with me on the internet. Please bear with me, people. Please, my friends, please. This is the way it is. Okay. 6 subscribers. So this is the channel. Now, if they don't have any content, you will not be able to find this channel, as in my understanding. This channel will only show up if they have a video. Okay. So I'm going to copy that. I'm going to come back. Please bear with me. I'm going to come back to here. I'm pasting that in there. That's the channel. I'm going to come back here. I'm going to copy the web address, whatever they call it. I'm going to post that in there. I'm going to return. That should be a comment. If you want to block them from your channel, you can go on, you can go do whatever you want, but that's the channel name. Okay. Now I'm going back up here because I've done what I want to do. I still have access to be able to block them. I'm clicking on those. Go to channel, replace, report, remove, put user in timeout. I can, did I report them? I haven't reported them yet. Have I reported them? Boo, you still there?
Yeah, I'm here. What do you want me to do?
Well, I just wondered, did I actually report that channel? I didn't, did I?
I wasn't, I was listening,
No,
but I was looking at the chat.
Well, I'm going to report it again then.
When you report it, it does not, it may take it away, but it may not.
Well, I'm going to report it anyway.
I think it's per comment. So I'm going to do one and you do one, or do you want to do them all?
Right. So this is what I'm.
Wait, their comments are all gone now.
Right. So I've still got this. Yeah. I deleted them. Okay, but this is what I can do. I can still, because I deleted them, I still got access to them.
But I can't report, but nobody else can report it.
You can't, no. You can't. Okay, this is harassing me.
Okay, did you ban them or block them?
Not yet.
Okay, come back in. Come back in, Anita Nap, to kill somebody, namely me. Come on back in. Come back in. We want to see it. Please bring us another comment. We really want to know what you have to say.
Yeah.
It's really important to us.
Yeah. Is this harassing me or is this harassing someone else?
It's both, because it is, well, it's in your chat and it's deflecting away from the importance of the message, trying to muddy the waters by casting aspersions on me about that I'm doing. But what I wanted to say, and I didn't get to read that last comment because you took it out, is that she's coming here, stalking me to let me know what I'm doing, which is nothing. What if I was doing something to them, then let me know when I'm doing it over there to you. But the point is, I'm not doing anything to you, and I've really not spoken about anyone for 2 months. So they've shown how wicked and how vengeful they are, that they are not going to stop at this. They just recently went to where I used to live, rolled on the property, dude.
Yeah. Right. Now this
But
is the
I'm
thing.
doing it. But I'm doing it to them. I would like them to
Hold
present
it,
some
hold it.
evidence.
Boo,
Yes.
boo, 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 boo.
Yeah.
Calm.
No, that's hyperventilating. Deep breath.
Yeah.
Ah.
Yeah, and come out of it. Yeah.
Deep cleansing breaths. Yeah.
Put your comfy moccasins on, and
Put my wet moccasins on.
Yeah. That's First Nations footwear, isn't it?
Oh yeah, I always say it because the First Nations, it's what is it? It's not a motto. They say, "Walk a mile in a man's moccasin before you judge a man. Walk a mile in his moccasins," which is so right, because until you've walked in someone's shoes, and that means really understanding what it feels like, you don't know.
Absolutely not. Absolutely
so easy
not.
to say, oh, you should do it this way, you should do it that way. But until you're living it you are the sum total of your life's experience, absolutely, emotionally as well. So absolutely, we are all going to respond from our buttons, and it's all meant to trigger, of course. So
yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. But this is
I wish you would have gone to that channel, because I could have possibly figured out who it was.
Well, I actually put a link to that channel in the chat.
Oh, okay. Let me check it out.
Hold it a minute. Hold it. Now this is why haven't YouTube got, this is harassing me, which they've got. This is harassing someone else, which they've got. Why not? This is harassing everybody. I'm going to say this is harassing me, Boo, if you don't object to that, because they come to my channel to harass. Now, if I put this is harassing me, and I'll pick another comment and put this is harassing someone else in. Okay, so this is what I'm going to go with. This is her. Oh, what happened there? Right, I'll show you. I'm doing this real time, and this is why it's so important to not delete. So I'm reporting before I delete, before anybody deletes. This is harassment or bullying, which it is. Choose one. Hold it. Did I pick the right thing there? Oh, this is harassing me. That's harassing me, that. And then I'm going to report that one. Okay, I'm going to cut you to come down. Okay. Important, if you believe that you're in danger, please contact your local law enforcement. They should have under that for what good that will do. Okay. And I'm going to pick another one from the same commenter. That one up here. Oh, let me go up here a minute. Please bear. Well, this isn't about anybody else, but targeted individuals, really. So you'll have to bear. But you could, this is a learning curve. I'm going to hold it. I'll report. This is harassment or bullying. It is very least. Choose one. This is harassing somebody else. Oh. Harassment or bullying. Choose one. This is harassing somebody else. Oh, that's what I've done there. This is harassing somebody else, and I've reported that one. Now, if everybody did that, and a commenter or a channel gets half a dozen complaints from about the same thing, then perhaps it might trigger something in the old algorithms, or maybe YouTube might take their finger up out of their butts and address probably the biggest threat there is online, and that's trolling and cyberbullying with intent to cause harm. And that includes misinformation about medical things. And I'll get that in there. Now, I wouldn't be surprised now if... now, what I'm not going to do is I'm not going to delete that comment. If you can't see them in the chat, that's not so bad. But if I keep the comments up just so that YouTube can't say, oh, you deleted the comment, they don't exist anymore. I don't know how it actually works. But that is the way, that is why I've removed modship from people before they understand how I treat trolls. Okay, and it's just to collect information, it's to collect evidence, full stop. Okay, so when people can say, Richard, we totally understand that, then modship, I'll just dish out modship to people that do understand it and people that I know I can trust with doing it my way. Okay,
I totally get what you're doing, because I used to do that. I used to let them just come in and drop all their stuff, and they would just bring all the evidence to the net. It's just unbelievable, because but also they feel they're above the law, and YouTube doesn't do anything about it, so they are emboldened. They don't believe that they'll ever be held responsible for the terrible things they've done.
Absolutely,
it's crazy. It's complete criminality. And if you know, not I, but when one is pushed to suicide, when you can bring forth the case, and in my case, we could prove it slam dunk, those people would be facing negligent manslaughter, or there's two distinctions, but they will be prosecuted. There's enough evidence to support what they were doing, and I have it.
Well, this is the thing. They think they're non-culpable because they are anonymous. Well, nobody on the internet is anonymous. Nobody on the internet is anonymous. I'm going back here now.
Yeah, but how do we look? They've been able to phish me and identify my IP. That's how they found where I was living before, because I trusted a man that I shouldn't have, and I answered an email from him, and then he went radio silent, and next thing you know, an account comes in saying something that was descriptive of where I used to live, so I knew that, and I didn't see the avatar. And now this one comes in, and the avatar is a picture of where I lived, taken from on the property, literally 20 feet from my door. That's where they took the picture. That is some sick, creepy. That's criminal stalking, man. That is not. I mean, that is a real problem. I don't know if you realize how much of a problem that is.
Yeah, I'm getting stalked more in real life than I am on the internet. But there's two types of it. There's two types of stalking. You're now talking about real life stalking.
Oh yeah, they've taken it off.
And I am stalked.
In life, you
because everybody, it's out there for me. I haven't hidden it or nothing like that. And everybody knows my phone numbers are out there, my address is out there, where I live is out there. Everything about me is available. And I'm not going out of my way to hide it, because I want to confront, because that's me. I'm strong in myself. I don't fear anybody. I'd rather face somebody who's got a gripe against me rather than not face them. But that's just me. Okay. And I don't class myself as vulnerable. I'm not trying to belittle the women race, the women of our race. I'm not trying to undermine the strength of the woman. What I'm saying is, they're probably more vulnerable to attack, based on the strength of a man versus the strength of a woman. And probably the nature. I know women can be total beeps as well, but
it does, being a woman, I mean, as far as men are supposed to be stronger than women, but just being a woman doesn't make you vulnerable. But when you are in a vulnerable class, which means a person with medical conditions and a psyche that is very delicate, that has put their medical out begging to be left alone, and they keep coming saying, I'm doing it. Now, if I wanted it to stop, why would I keep making it happen? you know, all I was doing was showing evidence. So now, as you know, even there's been a couple, but that's nothing. I'm not addressing it. I have not really named any names. So what's the problem? It's like they kept going on. I just mentioned some things they were doing, but I didn't go crazy. I didn't show anything. I didn't show their names. I didn't say their names. Once I might have dropped the initials, but no one would really necessarily know because she's changed her name. So it's been very mild to nothing, honestly. If you saw what I was doing before, I was going full tilt fucking boogie almost every day. Every day, God would tell me, go over there. And I'm like, I don't want to go over there. I don't really particularly like those people. No, go over there. Go over there. Within 30 seconds, here's my name. And here comes all the talk. And this has happened literally thousands of times. That much. No lie. Thousands of times. And they wouldn't stop. They wouldn't stop poking, you know?
Poking the
And
poo.
I was very, very vulnerable. Like, I'm vulnerable still, but not like then. I was really, really, really in a bad state, and they knew it. And so now they see me getting better. They don't like it. They want to take everybody away from me, lie to everybody around me, say I'm something I'm not, to isolate me again, to then get the final death push over the edge. I mean, that's exactly what's going on here. Nothing short of that. That is what they're doing. Because why? If I stop talking about them, why do they keep upticking their attacks on me? I'm not talking about them, really. Come on.
Right. Let me interject now then, Boo, and just say today is a new page, okay? Now is a new step forward. We're addressing it full on, all guns are blazing, okay? You're not in isolation anymore. We are taking this as far as, I'll do as much as I can. But if we do as much as we can, I'm putting a link in there for the streamer in case anybody wants to come on and say hello. Tim, I'm not going to be playing any songs, bruv, because the replay on my live streams is pretty shite when I'm playing songs, and don't really do the song justice. So I won't be playing any more music on my channel for the foreseeable future. And I know you made a comment earlier on. I did try to find it regarding song requests. But yeah, like I say, I don't want to take a break from this pretty much this role we're on. Although I do appreciate music 100%, and this I said this earlier in a little conversation with Boo before we come on, was they play the long game. The Freemasons, etc., they've been playing a generation game that goes back centuries. But so has God. God has given us music. The music has a message, and there's so much music that has a message for now that was made 40 years ago, 50 years ago, 60 years ago, 100 years ago. This music has been created. These lyrics and the messages have been created, not in our time, in times gone by, just for this moment, which is now. Now is at the window of opportunity for both sides. And whether they shut the world down with however they decide to destroy this world and try and destroy humanity as the biological being that was created originally, there's a window of opportunity for both sides. And even those that are trolling, you will be a victim to that system. Just know that you are fighting on the wrong side. I'm going.
Yeah, that's 100% what you just said. Because, like I keep saying, you're either on the right side of things or you're on the wrong side of things, and there's no gray area now in this time. There's no gray area. You're either going to do what's right or you're not, and you will suffer your consequences for what you're doing. You can say all day long that I'm doing that and I'm not, but you're doing what you're doing. You are facing the lake of fire, and I'm not. So that's how it goes. I know I'm not. I know I haven't. Look, I made mistakes. I already owned it. It goes back to summer of 2019 when I had done that thing that I most regret, which was confirming these numbers. And I immediately came out and called myself out about it. I said that I did it. Nobody busted me out for it. I went out and said, and then I showed where the private thing where the guy had, I said to the guy right after I gave it to him, I said that I should never have done that. It was completely out of integrity. That's not how I operate, and I was wrong. I should not have done that. And he says, oh, all those people hate you and they want the worst for you, so why do you care? But it doesn't matter. In my integrity, that's not what I do. But I was under duress, and when you're under duress, you're not functioning properly, And that's not an excuse, that's a fact. Oh, she wants to make excuses, and her mental illness is her excuse. No, it's not. I'm operating with this, what I have, That's all I can do. It's not an excuse, it's a fact.
Yeah.
So, end of story.
End of chapter.
Yeah.
Beginning of a new one. Somebody's got to write a new book based on the good old book. But for this time, how to recognize, and this is the thing, there is a common enemy between all the divides. We've all got a common enemy, and it's them that are creating the divide. So all these trolls that are going around, you've got the same enemy as me. You've got the same enemy as Boo, and probably everybody else that is left in the chat there commenting. We've all got a common enemy. You're being used. If you're being employed by the government to troll, you're being used like army vets, like military vets. You've been used. And then you end up on the streets. They don't give a shit about you. Dealing with your PTSD, dealing with your homelessness, trying to come to terms with the fact that you spent so many years dedicating your life to your country, while your family, your wife and your children have been at home wondering, worrying every single minute of every single day whether or not their daddy is going to come home.
Right, and then when daddy comes home and he's all screwed in the head from what he just went through in this country, they are treated like second-class citizens. Yes. So if a guy that went to war and literally killed people for the country is treated that way, you think you troll doing your little, junior high mean girl shit all day long with the intention of people killing themselves, you think they're going to treat you with any regard when your service is complete? By the way, you may know too much and they may put a bullet in your head. I don't know. Depends on who you're working. It depends on who you're working for. I mean, you cannot tangle with working with, governments because they're going to. You have a high likelihood they'll just take you out when they're done with you. Don't you? People don't understand that. They just kill people.
Absolutely. Life is a game of chess. Life is a game of chess. Pawns are sacrificial. Pawns protect the back line, the high places. The high places of governance, the monarchy.
There you go. Yep. That's right.
And here's another thing. Your politician, will send somebody else out to murder somebody. Now, does that wash them of the sin of murder? Does that wash the politician of the sin of murder?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
It's not actual blood on their hands. It's blood of the soldier that has actually gone out and committed a murder against somebody that they've got no gripe against whatsoever, that has never said a nasty word about them or an objectable word against them, that they've never met, that they will never likely meet because they're using rifles from 200 miles away. You know, the system needs, and I'm talking about the system of humanity, needs to realize that we have a common enemy.
Right. That's what I keep saying too.
They will.
I said months ago, I said, listen, lay down your sword with this petty crap. Don't you understand what's coming? Lay down your sword and join us, and let's work together to create safety for ourselves as men and women. One person, oh, you just want to get my boyfriend over there. No, I don't. I'm saying we all need to unite. I don't, I'm not uniting with them is not going to, like, I'm not really excited to do that. But I'm saying if anyone in their heart can do the right about face and go in the right direction of things, then they should be welcomed into the fold if they're really sincere.
Absolutely.
So whatever you did in the past, if you have a consciousness now and that's not the way, especially in the times we're in, just do something different. And people can change if they really want to. But people without conscience, they're not going to change. They don't change.
Don't say that.
Okay, don't say that.
Don't say that. Don't dismiss the fact that people are changeable.
Okay.
All they need is something that tugs on their own personal heartstrings to take them out of their comfort zone. So I never ever dismiss the fact that if people say, "Oh, we can't win this, we're up against this, and we're up against," no, if you go with that attitude, you fucking lost already.
Oh yeah, that's a defeatist attitude. But I'm
defeated.
But sweetie, you know that my studies are in psychology and counseling, and I'm just telling you what they say. But of course, miracles can happen, and I realize that. But what they're saying is a person without a conscience, in their view after tons of studies, overall they can't grow a conscience. Overall, the studies have shown that people without conscience don't normally have the ability to get one. But let's pray. Of course, I'll always pray. We want them to get a conscience. We want them to have a conscience because we need everybody together. Yeah.
Everybody's born with consciousness. Well, I'll say everybody. There might be exceptions, but everybody has that consciousness. That's what we are. We're conscious elements in a material form, in a material vehicle.
Well, but a lot of kids when they are very horribly molested and beaten, they don't have a conscience. They beat the conscience out. They break these people. They don't even know how to connect with it.
But it still exists in them, boo. But it's been suppressed to such a. It's sort of like when it comes to bad habits. There's a saying that I was taught is don't try and beat a bad habit. Replace it with a good habit.
Right.
And it's the same in reverse. If somebody's got a good habit, it can be replaced with a bad habit. But that good habit is still within their psyche. It still existed. And unless you get a lobotomy, like in One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, the only way they could shut him up, Jack Nicholson, was to do a lobotomy and take away his brain, or that part of the brain that made him function. But if it has existed once, it will always exist. It's just suppressed and it's buried under. It's like that's the story of the Princess and the Pea.
Yeah.
Have you heard that?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
You know that one, the pea. Is it really a princess or is this a fake? They put a pea under her like a dozen mattresses, and in the morning they said, "Oh, how did you sleep?" And she said, "Oh, not very well, because there was a little lump in my back all night, and that was the pea being making an imprint on her back through 12 mattresses." That's that. It's something there that is so deeply buried, but it can be connected to just by saying the right thing to somebody, and they can regress back in their memory to things that happened. Who's to say that we can't remember coming out of the womb, coming out into the open, the first time we opened our eyes, we still have that memory
Well, yeah, we do. We do have that. I did a breathing work thing where literally I went back and I saw myself in the crib, and I had my little hands really really tight, and I was just I was afraid. I was already afraid. I'm in the crib, so whatever was going on, my parents had already been fighting at that point. I don't know. I thought they didn't really get into that till we were a little older. But
Yeah.
there was a lack of safety that I was man, it was intense. It was like regression took me right
Yeah.
back. I
Wow.
could see myself there. It was wild. Wow.
Wow.
Hmm.
Yeah. So it exists. If it's existed, it will still exist. It's just suppressed.
Yeah.
And this is just, it's not a secret. It's, you just got all we need is a bit of just deduction and common sense and think, well, it exists somewhere in the mind. The mind is absolutely amazing. It can hold so much information, but not everything that we know is always the forefront of our mind and our
Okay,
consciousness.
but do you think a
When
guy like Jeffrey Dahmer they couldn't do anything with the guy? They couldn't take him out of the psychopathic person that he was, from what I understand. So, but maybe they're just not giving the kind of care they need to get there. I don't know.
was that a cat I heard then?
No, my door.
Oh, was it? Even your
Yeah.
door sounds like a cat. You must be a cat. You're definitely a cat lady. Even your squeaky doors sound like a cat.
I hate being called a cat lady, but okay.
Well, a lady that loves cats then.
I love animals. I've
Well, animals,
rescued
yeah.
all kinds of animals.
All right, a cat carer then. And I know you care for
I
your cat.
am a carer of cats right now, and they are my children. I mean, I do view them as
Yeah, yeah.
children. So, but I relate to them as like, I don't. They're people, but they're cats.
Yeah, yeah.
They're very animals are very interesting. I mean, they have
Oh,
personalities, and they're very
they have
intelligent.
they have characters. They have ways of communicating with us.
Oh yeah.
Um,
Yep.
you
That's
know,
what
and
I
I'm
tell
not just.
anybody. I have to, as a cat lady, to put out something to people with cat owners. If your cat is peeing or shitting outside the box, there's a problem. It is a way they speak to you, so you have to watch them to see what's going on. My cat was urinating blood, and it's because I'm very in touch with. I'm aware of what's going on, so I knew something's off here. And so, lastly, if a cat develops crystals, if it's a male cat, they can die from it. It is very, very serious. So I just always like to put out information that never ignore that. If your cat's doing that, it needs to go to the vet, especially if it's a male cat, because they can die. Female cats, it doesn't kill, but it's very painful. But anyway, just a little aside about people don't always.
I've gone out. Boo's gone. We have all got a note. She'll come back. But I can't be more thankful that you come on here, been honest, and giving us all an insight into how. Right, I'm under attack. See this? Up here. Yeah, so I just want to thank you ever so much for that, Boo. Just in case you don't get on, so I can't thank you in person. Now, we have all forgotten more than we remember. Is something that we don't remember forgotten, or is it just filed away, waiting to be brought to the fore to be remembered? That's the way I see it. It's not about. I wouldn't say forgotten. It's just not. It's not at the forefront of our memory because we don't of our mind and consciousness because we don't need it until such time as we need it, and then it's like. And I'll give a quick example of that, and it's a little bit off topic, but it's sort of dealing with the forgetful remember thing. Now, when I was young, somebody said to me about dealing with drowning. Okay. Now, one thing that I remember was if you go under 3 times, you're dead. Okay. If you go under the water 3 times, you're dead. And another thing that was taught to me was If you're in a situation where you're facing incoming waves and you're in that drowning position, you face the wave, watch it. As soon as it's about to break over you, you take that deep breath and you weather that wave. You come out the other side and you can breathe again. So you're not trying to breathe under the wave. So always face the wave, face the attacker. And remember, if you go under 3 times, you're pretty much dead. Now, this was probably taught to me when I was in my teens. And then in my mid-20s, I was on my honeymoon in Crete. I'd had a few to drink. Not too many, but I'd had a few to drink, and I'd gone swimming. Now, I was surrounded by children and families and parents. The closest was 10 feet, 15 feet away. And I'd gone down the shingle bank. It was the same, all the beach was shingle. Now, I think they call it like a rip tide, is when the water comes over and it circulates and goes out underneath the surface. So it will take your feet away. And that's the situation I was in. And I could not get to the shore just because it was shingle. The shingles were getting washed out as I was trying to get up the beach. And I was in trouble. I didn't want to call out to anybody because there was nobody else was in this situation. Everybody was going about their swim. I didn't want to embarrass myself, perhaps, by saying, help. I was in trouble. And I was drowning. And come to my mind straight away, and this is something that was taught to me 10 or 15 years before that I totally forgotten about until that point when I was drowning. Go under 3 times and you're dead. Right. Face the waves. Breathe just before the wave breaks over you. And then when you've gone through the wave, then you come out and you take another deep breath until such time as you can make it to shore. But as time was going on, I was getting so exhausted. By the end of it, I did manage on my hands and knees to scrabble up the beach, and I collapsed. Conscious, but I collapsed. I was literally exhausted. But that saved my life. Some information that I totally hadn't remembered, i.e. forgotten 15 years prior, came to the forefront of my consciousness at the right time when I needed it. So this is why I don't say it's forgotten. It's just not remembered because there's no need for it. And forgotten means pretty much it doesn't exist, really. So that's pretty much how I just deal with memory, really. Is we've got a filing cabinet. The mind is a filing cabinet. It's like a computer. You can file things away, but there's no limit to what we can accumulate in our minds. So I just wanted to, right, it's 25 past 10 by that big clock up there. What I wanted to do is start a conversation about cyberbullying. I'm so grateful that that Malibu was come on and addressed it with a personal testimony of how serious it is and how real it is. Okay. Now, if somebody else wants to come on, I just welcome somebody to come on for another little natter. At the most, I got 20 minutes, and at the least, I can spend 5 or 10 minutes going through the chat here, just picking some things out just to share and get on record. If anybody wants to come on and chat, I'll sling the link in here again. I think that's it. If somebody, but at the most, because I want to go over to Carol stream and show my face and support, because there's an element of infiltration going on over there. I'm trying to manipulate the regular good-hearted people that go over there to commune with Carol and the other people in the chat. Oh, there's Michelle. Michelle, welcome, Michelle. You're not shy of saying a word or two, are you? And I mean that in the most positive and loving way. Yeah, but this is what I'm going to do. My live streams are pretty much now going to be focused on this, about troll wars and things like that. I might diversify here and there, but I want to make this a regular thing until such time as somebody comes up with a solution, or we can all come together and reach. You know, it's just batting a ball about, isn't it? Between however many people are here, 12 at the moment, to come up with a solution to address the issue, to see if we can lobby YouTube. And I think, you know, I say we're wasting our time here, and we pretty much know what YouTube is anyway. I wouldn't be surprised if I get, well, deleted really at the worst, now that we've made efforts to expose this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to say this. Now, anybody that has made personal attacks on anybody else, doesn't matter what it is, I would urge you to apologize, to take a look at yourself, stand back, look at the fact that you are in the wrong, victimizing other people, judging other people by your own standards. I think my next live stream I will get a little bit more organized, so I can expose some of the people that are still continuing in their ways of trolling, in their ways of manipulation, in comments to try and attract attention and attract subscribers for their nefarious means. So that's what I'm going to be doing. Probably in my next one. I've got so much evidence. This is, like I say, this is what is crucial, just to have evidence and examples of what does go on. Some of it is laughable. Like I say, it's people attacking flat Earth, people attacking chemtrails. And then there's this vicious, malicious, evil attack on a person to do harm. So any of these little groups that have set themselves up, you know, I'm going to expose you on a live stream. And that's my next one. And it might be midweek, I think, now. Wednesday, maybe. Just for the records of what really does go on, and that what people in the main do not see. Okay. Oh, Frosty.
Hello.
Hello, Michelle.
How are you?
Oh, I'm pretty much bubbling, really. I'm riding the crest of God's assistance.
You'd be very proud of me today.
Oh, go on then.
Dub and I went down and fed the homeless.
Oh, yeah.
It was really good. I just posted a video.
Yeah. I'm not sure how to do this. This is what I would recommend, because I mean, if I had mods, if Malibu was mod, I know what she does. She will share people's channels about in the comments. If you want your channel, if you make a comment under the video, once the live stream has ended and you refresh it, I think comments come up underneath the video. I don't think you can actually, anybody can comment while the live stream is running. But once the live stream has finished, you can refresh the live stream from YouTube, and it will then open up the comments. And even if you just want to say hello under there, then there's a direct link to the channel. So Michelle, if you rather than me sort of going into chat and you know, in the current chat, is to just try and like share a link to your channel and Boo's channel and everybody else's channel. Is to, if anybody wants their channel to be known, to be shared, if you want to, you know, share your channel, just make a comment under the video once you've refreshed it, once this live stream's finished. And then, you know, that's just a way of communicating, networking, grouping. Do you understand what I mean? Because I would just say to everybody, right, here's Michelle's link. If I was in the chat, you know, that's what, you know, I don't know. Right, let me get Boo. I'm going to mod Boo up a minute because I know she knows exactly how to do it. No, I can't do it from here. Please bear with me a minute. Sometimes I just need to concentrate on Boo. I'm going to mod you up now because you know what to do. Exactly. Okay. And that's no disrespect to anybody else. That's no disrespect to anybody else. I love you all, even the haters. But Boo knows exactly. Boo knows exactly what to do. She's an awesome moderator. And I'm not putting it on you, Boo. But you know, the option's there to do what you know how to do. Okay. Right, back to you, Michelle.
So anyway, yeah, I just thought I'd tell you that because I know that's very dear to your heart. It's dear to my heart. If you can help somebody, you know, that's the unfortunate. It's such a great feeling. I had such a good day, doing it. You know, so my boss, had a text this morning and said that you know that every last Sunday of the month they always go down and feed the homeless, and so he said, you know, asked us, you know, the team to come down and there's only 2 of us that showed up, but it was good. It was great. They give everybody haircuts.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Yeah. So they set up they have like a whole bunch of hair cutters, and they go in there, and then any homeless that want their hair cut, they'll cut up for their hair right there, and they play a bunch of music, and yeah, it was really great.
Yeah. You see, if this is what I say, Michelle, is do we really need government to organise us? No, people organise themselves. You know, if they see someone down on their luck, it's generally the public
Yeah.
that come to the assistance, isn't it? Rather than the government.
Oh yeah, I love helping people though. I mean, I think it's
Yeah.
great. Yeah, it's so.
Go on.
I've been down and out lots of times in my life, and I didn't have any help, and you know, it's just it's such a good feeling. It's so gratifying, especially now times are hard and rough, and for everybody, you know, not
Yeah.
just them, but you know, just to give them a smile and hand them a plate of food, you know.
Oh,
They're
absolutely. Yeah.
yeah, they're giving them out snack packs and clothing and you know, hygiene packs and just everything. It was great. It was great.
Yeah. Yeah.
So my boss is
So
like, he's like, well, we're gonna go ahead and do this. We're gonna just do it ourselves and go down there, and he's gonna pick like the second Sunday of every month, I guess. And I
yeah.
said, count me in. I'm
Oh,
there.
beautiful. Yeah. Yeah. You're you know, you're sort of you're doing the sorts of things that well, how can I put it? It's loving, really. It's caring. It's giving people a hand up rather than a boot down, isn't it? Those that are less
Right,
fortunate than ourselves.
right,
And this is the thing. There might have only been 2 of you turned up, but you know about the ripple effect.
right.
You know, that ripple needs to be started somewhere, doesn't it?
Oh yeah,
You
definitely.
know, and then you know, if you get enough, when eventually that ripple may well end up as a tsunami of love,
Right,
caring, consideration.
right.
So
Can you just imagine, you know, they probably wait for that to, you know, happen. So yeah, I took a video of it and just kind of showed. I was silly. I was kind of dumb about it. I should have panned out my phone instead of, you know, I had it straight up instead of panning it out. And but I was
yeah,
like, live and learn.
yeah. Well, exactly that. But you know, it's the first step to something that you know, it takes something to instigate an action, And then from that, it develops, and you know, we learn from our mistakes. If it was a mistake, it wasn't really a mistake. If you got it, the important element is the fact that you were there,
Right.
and you've shared that experience. And it's all about inspiring other people to consider things that they might not know about. It's like the number of people that walk past the homeless without so much as a smile or a glance or a hello or a, you know, or just a moment of time spent listening.
You know, and it's funny. And I'm not telling anybody this. I'm just, you know, I was walking into Walmart to grab some things, and before I went down there, so I was in charge of getting the desserts and stuff. So I went down there, and there's a guy sitting out front of Walmart, just one guy, and he was like, you know, he says, he goes, I don't know if you can help me out. My whole family's homeless. I'm homeless, and I just want something to eat from inside Walmart. And I just looked at him, you know, and I said, that's kind of funny because I'm getting ready to go down and feed the homeless. And I said, so here you go. And I handed him $20, and I said, hopefully that'll help you out a little bit, you know. And it's just what I'm saying is, it's, you know, I had the money to give, you know what I mean? And
Yeah,
I know a lot of people want to be homeless, but you know, to see anybody, I've been there. Okay, I've been there.
yeah,
But
yeah.
to see anybody, it's not easy. Regardless if they choose to be there or not, it's not easy. And yeah, it was a full day of uh, gratification. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I'm guessing that you didn't actually go out there to be for your own benefit. It wasn't to make you feel good. You've gone out there. You've gone out there the same as I do. It's not. I don't want any reward
No,
for it.
absolutely not.
However, there is a, we'll call it a side effect, and that is there is an element of knowing that somebody is a little bit better off than they were before. But there's
Right.
no, you know, that's just like that's sort of like a side effect, isn't it? Of you know, it's not
Always
about
pay it. Always pay it forward. You know, always pay it forward. Just pay it forward. Just keep paying
yeah,
it
yeah,
forward. You know,
yeah,
that's the way I look at things.
yeah. So I mean, the world has got much, including us, got much to learn. But if we can get everybody on the same page, we all have a common enemy. Um, you know, and together, teamwork, TEAM, together, everyone achieves more.
Well, and I look at it this way too, is that, you know, some people are more awake than others, and we know that there's a lot of people, the majority of the people are not. But when things really get bad, they're going to need us to take, you know, to help them.
Absolutely, yeah,
We're going to need to help ourselves, but we're going to have a little bit better of a direction. Do you know what I mean? It's going to be devastating, I think.
potentially,
And
potentially, but
yeah.
potentially. So, but you know, it's doing what we can as soon as possible, which is now. So,
Right.
you know, right? It's 20. I was hoping to go on. There's some. Carol's doing a live stream at 11. I was hoping. So I've been over there for a while to go over and say hello and reacquaint myself with everybody. So I was going to go up to 11:15. It's 20 to 11 now p.m. Sunday.
Right.
So I thank you ever so much, Michelle, for coming on and you know, being part of it, and you know, sort of highlighting the homeless crisis. It's another thing that the government don't seem to be interested in too
No,
much. Enough to
that's
do anything
exactly
about.
what they want. That's exactly what they want. But that's, you know, unfortunate. It's
Yeah.
unfortunate. But yeah,
Oh,
I'm
absolutely.
gonna be getting ready for my own live stream tonight. As you know, I do every Sunday night.
Yeah. What time you kicking off? How long?
I was thinking about doing it a little bit later tonight. Chuck is celebrating his Thanksgiving with his family because he had to work Thanksgiving. So he said that he'll pop in later or whatever. So I'm trying to catch up to what I left personally, what I needed to get done today before I go to work tomorrow. So since my whole day was kind of spent doing something else, I'm kind of trying to catch up a little bit right now. So
Okay. Oh, I love you, Michelle. And Dub, how's Dub?
he's good. He's good.
Good.
He's mending a chair right now.
Well, give him my love and my regards. And
I will. Thank you, Richard. You have a wonderful evening and
absolutely. Go on.
have a great night. Okay.
I'll try.
All right.
My love. Love you, Michelle. You take care. And Dub.
Love you too.
Catch you later.
Bye.
I'm on my own again. All right, my friends. It's coming up to 11:15. I need to be strict and disciplined. That's probably my overall message, is that. Thank you ever so much, everybody that's come along. Some wonderful comments. And like I say, if anybody's come here with hatred, just take a look at yourself and think, are you being used by somebody else for their benefits? Are you that soldier that's sent to war to sacrifice yourself for somebody else's desire? Yeah. Boo, Malibu, I'll never be able to thank you enough, you know that. If you want to come on and I'd like to say goodbye to you in private and thank you and give you just a bit of feedback on how I thought it went, or we can do it at another time. But yeah. So I will be retitling this video. I was hoping to get a response from a former bully, but they didn't show up. Somebody that likes a bit of
You just call out my name, and you know wherever I am, I'll come running to see you again. Shall we finish it? Winter, spring, summer, or fall. All you got to do
is call,
and I'll be there. You've got a friend.
Absolutely, and
I'm here.
Yeah, that's extended to absolutely everybody. That's not just between Boo and me. That is extended to everybody.
Yeah.
Just call out and, we come together as a unit fighting evil. Okay?
Yeah, that's what it's about. To be there for each other, to love one another, to know what's right and what's wrong, to stand up against evil and oppression. That's our mission. It really is. So this is all part of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Many facets to this mission. But I love you so much, as you know. Do you want me to stay on and just talk to you privately after? Or?
Yeah. It's like I say, I'm going at 11. It would only be for like a couple of minutes, Boo, because I just want to run through a few things and pretty much express my gratitude. That's it really. But it's, you know, it's like having an after work drink, isn't it, in the pub?
Right. Exactly.
Yeah, let's go to the pub for a quick half.
All right, let's go. I'm only having sparkling water, but I can still have a great time.
Yeah.
All right,
So,
sweetheart. So,
all right, my darling.
You finish your. You want me to hang while you finish it up?
I just hang there, and then I'm going to shut it down. I'm going to end the broadcast pretty much now. I can't thank everybody enough for turning up. I hope everybody can see the extent of the problem that is not discussed enough. And I will be retitling this video Elephants in the Room, which is cyberbullying, etc., and bullies in a china shop. So, Paul, the internet went down. Oh, you must be a threat then. I would be honoured, mate, and privileged if you could come on and have a chat at some point in time in the future, because you're a man of righteousness, and you're a man of experience. So, and I know we're pretty much on the same page here. So I'm now going to shut this down.
I forgot to share that one because he was out of the chat, but I can share his channel now. So I'll go do that.
Wi-Fi shite. Yeah. Yeah, you want to hardwire it then. But yeah, so I'm going to pick a comment to lead the stream by. Let me know when you share that link, Boo, please. I'm going to leave that one. I like that. Okay. So that's it, really, friends. Thank you ever so much for turning up and listening to, well, me, really, and Boo. And like I say, let's come together. Right, let me just check that that's done, and then I will end the stream. Nature and Places, Paul. Just go and check them out. Check out. Don't subscribe to somebody unless you like what they're doing. But I would say Paul is he's got a lot of good content, a lot of good content. Pretty much brings back a lot of nostalgia for me. But okay, so I'm going to click this button up here. I've got a couple of minutes to say my goodbyes to Boo and thanks, and catch you all later. Okay, God bless everyone. I got your message there, Paul. But there you go. I'll leave on that one. Actually, God bless all, and that's the good God, big G, the Heavenly Father, not the little G. All right, ending now. Love you.